vers gemalen bonen en één enkele swipe-beweging.
Hello everybody, this is the HypnoDuo. I'm Rob the Hypnotist.
I'm Mengjia.
And welcome to our channel. Today we're going to react to some clips that Mengjia did a few months ago, 6 or 7 months ago. As a hypnotherapist herself, she was hypnotized by another therapist as kind of an experiment. And today we're going to react and see with the protagonist what was actually going on in her mind while she was hypnotized. And maybe some new insights.
Yeah, super excited.
We just skipped the intro, but we are ready to dive into the video.
Yeah. This is also the first time that Roberto watches this.
Well, of course, I'm reacting to, so yeah, let's see how it goes. I'm curious.
Just look up as high as you can, past your eyebrows to some imaginary spot right at the top of your head. And then I'm going to count down from 10 down to 1. And at some point during that countdown, you'll find that your eyes just naturally relax closed as you begin to drift into hypnosis. If your eyes aren't closed by the time I reach 1, then you'll just let them close for no other reason than because you want them to. All sound good so far?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Make sure you're nice.
I'm sorry, I've already noticed that you were so willing to go that even learning the instruction, you were already going deep.
Well, that was actually something I wanted to make a remark because I didn't really get his suggestion clear enough. That was only the explanation of what the exercise is. So I thought we are already ready to go. That's why you can really see that I was already following the instruction. Mm-hmm. So until he pointed it out, then I was like, oh yeah, it's not even time yet. So I went even a bit before the schedule.
This is something that we also actually do normally, because during a session, if we need to explain something to a client before the practice itself, we usually say, just now don't do anything, just listen to my voice, listen to the instruction, and then, okay, now we're going to do this, no?
Yeah.
So that's something that we state before. That's also why your mind probably wasn't.
Yeah, that's actually a good point, because normally we would say something like, here is what we are going to do, and which is already a very clear pointer that you know what we are saying right now. It will only be explanation, that we are not going to start with the actual exercise yet.
That's precisely what I was thinking. Yeah. Okay.
Comfortable and focus high up on that spot for me. That's it. If you find your eyes flickering, fluttering, rolling back, totally normal as I count you down into relaxation now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Take a nice deep relaxing breath in and hold it for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Breathing out any tension. 4, 3, 2, and 1. That's it. Let yourself begin to drift deeper and deeper into relaxation now. Deeper and deeper into hypnosis. Feeling better and better the deeper and deeper you allow yourself to go. What I want you to do now is just imagine yourself at the top of a grand staircase. Make it as real and detailed in your mind as you need it to be. And as I count down from 10 down to 1, with each number I count, just allow yourself to take a step down, going deeper into hypnosis with each and every step that you take. 10, first step, feeling so relaxed and wonderful.
I'm honestly sorry to stop it at this point, because we were going actually deeper. But you know that I'm really strong in picking up words. It's like my passive skill. Words for me are extremely important. And I've noticed that he used something that I would not use with a client, especially if this client is new to hypnosis. He just said, going deeper and deeper into hypnosis. This might work on you, because you know how the feeling of hypnosis is. But if I say this to somebody that didn't experience hypnosis, even after the pre-talk, it's a feeling. So you should have a frame of reference to guide somebody there. If you don't have this frame of reference, I can confuse you using this phrasing.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. I have a different perspective in that. Because normally in a session, we would have already done the pre-talk.
Yes.
And I would already kind of compound on them just by building up the idea of how hypnosis should feel like. So I would already go like time and time again saying like, when you're in hypnosis, you might feel this, or when you're in hypnosis, you will this. So I think the phrase kind of already being repeated many times.
Okay, so you already created a frame of reference, so you tied the word hypnosis to a feeling of relaxation. So hypnosis, relaxation, wonderful feeling, relaxed, safe.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but you created a frame of reference before that. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it makes sense completely.
Okay.
9, feeling the handrail under your hand, feeling safe and secure as you relax even more. 8, deeper and deeper, gliding easily down. 7, more and more relaxed. 6, your footsteps so gentle and so light as you step down even deeper. 5, halfway down now, approaching that even deeper sense of relaxation. 4, deeper and deeper. 3, so relaxed now, so easy to just float the rest of the way down. 2, and 1, that's it. And at the bottom of the stairs is a door.
Yes. I wanted to add something also comes as a recommendation for anyone doing hypnosis out there. So that was something we learned in our training. So Roberto and I, we actually met in the hypnotherapist training. So what we learned over there is that it's actually very nice when you time your suggestions with the breathing patterns. So you are noticing that your client is breathing, like especially with the exhale that is going down. So it's always really nice when you time that suggestion exactly with the exhale. So you can also see him a bit saying the 7, the 6. So the counting down is really at the point when I'm exhaling. So I go deeper with every number that he says. Another thing is that I know a lot of people are not very confident about doing hypnosis from a distance, so doing it remotely. But as you can see, like even though you don't really have each other or meeting it in person or having someone sitting in front of you, but there's so much that you can see, the body sensual, the language, where like how deep the person is going into. So if we are just looking at this video now, you can really look at so many visible clues that you can pick up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, the clues are there.
Yeah.
I mean, they're visible. If you have a training and you can see these kind of physical clues of how your being is reacting to the process.
Yeah. So for anyone who's afraid of doing hypnosis online, really don't be, because there are so many things that a hypnotist can help you with, and they're totally able to pick up all these little clues to guide you into the session every step along the way.
Oh yes, they're trained for it.
Yeah.
I wanted to say something else, but I think I'll reserve it for later.
Okay.
I don't want to...
Go ahead and picture this door as you stand in front of it. The color, the texture, really picture this door, because this is the hypnosis door. And when you open and walk through it, you will find yourself in your happy place, just a place of complete relaxation, free of any judgment, stress, worries, or distractions. It can be a real place, an imaginary place, or a mixture of both. But really imagine it, because when you enter that happy place of yours, you can just allow yourself to sink even deeper into this wonderful state of hypnosis. This wonderful state of hypnosis where you are just completely relaxed, open to suggestions, and where everything I say just instantly becomes your truth and reality the moment that I say it. So you simply think what I tell you to think, feel what I tell you to feel, and do what I tell you to do. So you allow yourself to be completely and totally immersed in hypnosis. I'm going to count from 1 to 3, and when I reach 3, opening that hypnosis door and entering your happy place. 1, 2, and 3, opening that hypnosis door and entering your happy place. Letting all of those relaxing sights, sounds, and feelings help you to just drift deeper and deeper now, feeling better and better. Now use that imagination of yours That imagination that's now 10 times stronger in hypnosis, 10 times more powerful, more vivid, more real than ever. And just imagine that tied to each one of your wrists are string. And attached to that string are just hundreds and hundreds of these giant, brightly colored helium balloons. Imagine hundreds and hundreds of these giant helium balloons now tied to each one of your wrists. And now imagine those balloons beginning to rise into the sky. Imagine those balloons beginning to rise higher and higher as they begin to lift each of those hands and arms into the sky as they rise. Imagine those balloons getting bigger and bigger now with each and every breath that you take. That's it, those balloons getting bigger and bigger, rising higher and higher into the sky. In fact, imagining thousands of helium balloons now tied to each wrist as those balloons.
Okay. I think I can speak about it now.
Yeah.
Because it's almost the same feeling that I'm having. I know how the process of hypnosis works. I know how to guide somebody into hypnosis. I also know that I can guide myself into hypnosis quite easily. And I think this is a personal trait, but I do have a small issue, and it's just a personal issue. It's not about the technique itself, because I think it's wonderful and it really works on many, many people. But on me, certain kind of techniques will pull me out of hypnosis. One of them is actually the staircase, when you have to step down the ladder. I step down a normal ladder in real life extremely quickly. So if you keep me hanging there, I have this feeling that, okay, let's move on. Let's do this quicker, because for me, this movement would be much more instantaneous. If you're counting the seconds, I'm there hanging and I said, okay, I'm ready to take the next step. Let's go. And in the same way, I understand completely the concept of compounding, of course, that you want to compound the information, for example, with the helium balloon just now, no? Rising higher and higher with these hundreds, thousands helium balloon. For me, that is quite easy to picture. And that much compounding on me would actually have a counter effect.
Okay.
But just probably just because I am also a hypnotherapist. So I know this, so it's okay. We are doing something that we both know, so we can move faster. Of course, with a client that doesn't have a lot of experience in hypnosis, this works perfectly, because that's actually the technique of compounding, no? Of constantly feeding the same information in a slightly different key to get absorbed, to get really, it's a suggestion, but it's also, it's part of the guidance for the process of hypnosis.
Yeah, it's good that you mentioned that, because from my own experience, because I've done this type of collaboration with more hypnotists, I do notice myself always kind of get ahead of schedule. Okay, it's not only me. Yeah, so especially when we do like more because normally you go deep and then you go high.
Yeah.
So the moment that I go high, I'm constantly going over. So if we are still going by ladders, like counting from the lower number to the higher number, I would have already been...
I'm already 10.
Yeah, I'm probably already out. Yeah, because sometimes when we go higher, especially when we do higher consciousness, like connecting to your higher self, then normally we're taking the physical body to like left behind to get heavy, and your mind is going to leave this physical body that you would go higher. So obviously you're kind of going out of the space in a way. So when they're just counting the first few numbers, my mind would already go in the sky, already go out of the earth, already in the space floating. And that was even my first experiencing this. So the more that you do it, the even faster that you go. So that's where I see myself keep going ahead of schedule. Also later on, when I started working with more hypnotists, I really wanted to tune in more to the healing factor. So I don't want to just do the fun hypnosis, that I also really want to, get something out of it, even though we're just doing a fun collaboration. So I always ask them to kind of do like a therapy part, blend it into all the fun exercise. So one time doing with someone that he was already trying to guide me into a space, but I kind of went further too. So it was with my driving anxiety, and so he tried to guide me into if now that you have this ability that you can you can visualize your day, like basically jump for progression, so jump into your future and think about the next day when you are in your car that you're gonna drive in this route and so on. And when he said that, I realized that I have already done it in the step before. So basically when he was still working on solving the anxiety for me, it already worked. So when he was still doing all his work, I already basically had a little ride with my car.
Well, yeah, but the more you do it, the more it becomes also easier to do therapy on yourself, in the process. No, you can actually treat yourself in a much quicker way. And it is also a testament that once you learn something and through repetition, the process will become much easier and much faster, which is the same concept that I often tell my clients, because when I teach, for example, self-hypnosis to somebody, the first few times, it could take some time to get used to it. It could take a few minutes to go into the deepest level of self-hypnosis, level C.
Yeah.
But if I have to examine myself, my first self-hypnosis was a bit lengthy. But if I have to go into self-hypnosis right now, I think that probably I'm there in 2.5 seconds or maximum 3 seconds. I'm there.
Yeah.
It becomes faster and faster, this process, actually.
I can imagine.
So I think it's natural that it's happening.
Yeah. And I also do agree with the part, like everyone have their own preferences, so there might be some suggestion that will really take you out of it. Yeah. So one thing I really noticed working with one of the hypnotists was that he said things like, oh, you enjoy doing this with me, right? And then he calls me a good girl. And of course, like English is not our first language, but that word just really triggered me. So I just had a very weird vibe in a second. I know he didn't mean anything bad, but when you go into your subconscious, you're not really thinking with your logical brain.
But it meant something for you.
Yeah, exactly. So you just you interpreted that language with your feelings and not your logical thinking. So for me, the word good girl, it just, I don't know, gave me a very weird vibe that I just didn't like it at the moment. So that kind of took me out a little bit.
See how words are important?
Yeah.
And be mindful of the word that you're speaking. Well, let's move on.
Balloons just rise higher and higher. Hands and arms feeling lighter and lighter the more you imagine them rising. That's it. And in a moment, not now, but in just a moment, I'm going to count to 3 and say the word sleep. When I do, I want you to just imagine me cutting that string and those helium balloons floating away as any remaining stress, tension, or resistance floats away with them. You'll also notice when I cut that string on 3, that your hands and arms can drop back down completely limp, loose, and relaxed, just like a rag doll. Let that dropping be the signal for you to drop 10 times deeper into hypnosis, feeling 10 times better. Cutting that string on 3, 1, 2, 3, sleep. Now that's it, deeper and deeper, feeling better and better. The deeper you go, the better and better you feel. And the better and better you feel, the deeper and deeper you go.
It's really working.
And in a moment, not now, but in just a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 3. And when I reach 3, your eyes will open as you focus high up on that spot again, really letting those eyes.
Even your hair are getting more relaxed, bit by bit. It's a stupid observation, but
eyes naturally flutter and roll back. But as soon as I say the word sleep to you, your eyes will instantly close, your body will relax, and you will just allow yourself to sink 10 times deeper into hypnosis. When I say that word sleep to you, your eyes just instantly close, your body relaxes, and you sink back down into this deep state of hypnosis, even deeper than you are now. And 1, 2, 3, eyes open as you focus high up on that spot.
I have a question. I don't know if you remember. Did you have a moment that you lost yourself there in the words? Because I perceived a quick disconnection from what he was saying and what you were experiencing.
I don't remember anymore because it's been a while, but while watching it, I do have, like, there was this idea that came to me that I wanted to mention about the intelligence level of accepting hypnosis or hypnotic suggestions. So actually hypnosis works better with people who have higher intelligence because you basically the key of having the session to work is that you need to be able to understand suggestions. And I have to say, with all the hypnosis sessions, the suggestion given to you are always quite basic. Like, it should be easy to understand.
As it should be.
Yeah.
Because also the subconscious part is the childlike part of us.
Yeah.
So you don't need fancy words. You just need to communicate effectively and simply.
Yeah. There's a lot of repetition, of course. So that's why actually the words that we say should be like super simple, but it's like repeated many times. Which from a hypnotist standpoint, it sometimes can be a bit hard when you try to like say the same thing and you want to make sure that the things are said in a flow, and while you're not making the mistake at the same time. But that really requires the good cooperation with the client self. So we have the part where we say, I'm gonna count from 1 to 3, but not before. So you should like only do the suggestion at the count of 3, but not before. So we need to like keep repeating that. So it's also quite easy for hypnotists to make a mistake, like where you're repeating the suggestion, try to correct that flow and trying to do the compounding, and you can make a mistake in one of that
course.
times, and then that's just gonna confuse the mind, because in subconscious we take all the suggestion or take all the words very
literally. Yes.
Yeah. So if there's one word that just didn't make sense, that suggestion is just not gonna sink in.
Yeah, you can have that quick disconnection from the thing because your mind is trying to keep up with the message. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. And sleep back down now. Sleep back down deeper and deeper. That's it. The deeper you go, the better you feel. The better you feel, the deeper you go. Each and every time I say that word sleep, you just instantly and easily drop back down into this deep state of hypnosis, this deep state of relaxation, feeling better and better. Every time those eyes close, you just double that relaxation and go one step deeper into hypnosis. And again, 1, 2, 3, eyes open, focused high up on that spot. That's it. And sleep back down now, deeper and deeper, feeling better and better. Deeper you go, the better you feel, the better.
I feel this is kind of a strong fractionation. Fractionation is that moment in which you open and close your eyes. It's also to distract your rational mind, but it's part of the process. But it's usually when you are already in a position in which your head is sustained, no? Where you have something holding you. So the fractionation becomes easier because it's just a movement of the eyes. So you just have to open, follow the hand, and then close back down, no? And it's rather quick. In this very moment, I see you doing the fractionation with all your head. How was it? I'm just curious.
It is for the fun exercises, so the show hypnosis. So that's why we basically need to open our eyes and then kind of look like we came back, but of course still in hypnosis, so that we can test it out with all the fun parts that we do. Things like, oh, you forgot your names or something else. But I do feel every time that I go back, I do go deeper, because that suggestion has already been implemented very well in my mind. Mm-hmm. So of course it looks like it takes a lot of physical energy to like really drop down, or you don't look exactly comfortable without all the support. But I think it's really about the mind, and it's already been implemented, so it just works.
Okay, well, I was curious about that.
How do you feel, the deeper you go? And one last time now, 1, 2, 3, eyes open, focused high up on that spot. Take a nice, deep, relaxing breath in.
All this movement.
That's it. And sleep now all the way down. That's it, deeper and deeper.
You tied it with the breathing also.
And for the rest of this session, whenever I say that word sleep to you, you would just instantly and automatically sleep back down into this deep state of hypnosis, this deep state of relaxation. For the rest of this session, whenever I say the word sleep to you, those eyes just instantly close, your body relaxes, and you sink back down into this deep state of hypnosis, this deep state of relaxation. And if you understand and accept that suggestion, just gently nod your head for me as this sinks into your reality. That's it, feeling better and better. Always noticing that the deeper you go, the better and better you feel. And the better and better you feel, the deeper and deeper you go. And on the next count of three, your eyes will open, but you will just find that you are just completely stuck to your chair, It is as if you sat down in the world's strongest super glue or the world's strongest cement. As the next time you open your eyes, you are just completely stuck to your chair, completely glued to it, completely cemented to it. You just cannot get up. The more you try to get up, the more and more stuck you become. It's as if all of the gravity in the entire room is focused solely on weighing you down to that seat and keeping you stuck. On the next count of three, your eyes will open, and you will find that you are just completely stuck to your chair, completely glued to it, cemented down to it. The more you try to get up, the more and more stuck you become. And 1, 2, 3, eyes open. All right, feeling good so far?
I think that also you from home, you can hear and feel the compounding. So the repetition of the information. There is a super glue tied to your chair. I think he said it 3 or 4 times.
But I was ready to go, yeah.
You were ready to go,
Yeah.
but this is normal. This is
Yeah.
how it is.
Also want to add there's something really nice that I learned from working with them is that I noticed that already from a few hypnotists that they will always ask, do you accept this suggestion? Which you could see like from just a minute back. And now I'm kind of using that in all my sessions too, because sometimes when we are giving the suggestions that the clients don't really know like when exactly it's a moment to kind of like implement it, like should I do it now or later, especially if they get a bit confused with the suggestion. So I now also always ask, do you accept this suggestion or would you like to do that? It's also kind of like giving back the control to them so that they feel like they are the one making the decisions. So we are only here to give suggestion, but you can always accept or reject.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think in a way it is a nice double check to make sure that that person really gets what they need to do.
My mind went straight to what I actually do during a session, because I don't use this technique, but I also want to make sure that the suggestions that I give to the person in front of me are actually good and positive for them, and they will actually get accepted. I actually dedicate a part of my pre-talk saying that all the suggestions that I give you, of course, I will do my best to respect what is your drive, your idea, your personality, but some things I cannot foresee. So if I say something that doesn't match with your belief or your values, you can just tell me during the session. Everything is fine. You can just tell me during hypnosis, I think the suggestion for me is not that good, and I'll try to rephrase it. This kind of communication is always encouraged, because if you are the client, you want the best that is for you. You want to be taken care of. And so we need to adapt in that specific situation. And I think doing it during the session like this, a double check, I think I will also start using it on all.
Yeah. And if I go a little bit deeper into the history of hypnosis, is that like more towards a more modern time, we have the discipline of 2 major figures. So we have Dave Elman, which we are trained after, and then you also have the Ericksonia style, which is really giving the option back to the client. So you will be asked constantly, oh, you have the option to accept or reject, but you can do this, or you have these few options in front of you, and you can just choose the one you can. And which, going back to the history, Milton Erickson, he is working more with psych ward patients. So these people are much more sensitive with giving up control, and they don't like to follow orders, and their minds are going all over the place. Where Dave Elman is mostly working with hospitals, with patients that are really like following the doctor's orders, and they are much more disciplined.
That they understand that is for their own good.
Yeah. So I think they kind of shape their approach very differently. And I have done quite a lot of research on that part too. And even though I'm trained after the Dave Elman one, but I would also never say like this is the best approach. I think the combination of both actually creates a very nice effects to the clients where they feel like they have the control of the session and they are only doing things that make them feel comfortable. So it's kind of a self-empowering way to run the session. And actually this hypnotist that I'm doing the collaboration with, he is trained after Mike Mondo, if I'm pronouncing the name right. So he has also had a blog article about how the different hypnosis styles are, and he also believes actually the combination of both creates a very beautiful effects.
Oh yes. But the techniques that Milton Erickson also was using, well, from my point of view, it's the Ericksonian method. It's much more about misdirection, because your aim is to, in a way, confuse the person, in that you don't have a specific path to walk on, especially because what you said for the psych wards patients, they don't want to relinquish control. So you try to misdirect their mind to actually guide them where you want to for their own good, without explicitly being too overt in the process. So that's why the Ericksonian method is more like, yeah, you can do this, but if you don't accept it, there's also this, etc. So your mind is pulled in different directions, so it comes a bit easier, no?
Yeah.
To digest the message. Yeah.
Next.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. If you can just stand up for a second for me. Bit of trouble.
Yeah.
So for people watching, they would say like, you know, I know she can stand up. We know she's not actually glued to her chair. We know she's not actually stuck to it. So how would you describe that? Like what's like you're experiencing then?
I feel that I can still move on the surface of my chair.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I don't have that strength to, let's say, push my up to it.
Okay.
Like I could still make this little movement. I can like leave the surface for an inch or something,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just I don't feel that I have the full power to stand up.
Okay. All right, perfect. All right, make sure you're nice and comfortable for me. Focus high up.
I'm sorry, but I just thought about the last video.
Yeah.
In which I reacted to Jack Gordon. There was actually this guy, another YouTuber, that he had the same suggestion, that you cannot pull yourself from the chair. But the hypnotist told them, you look like a strong guy, you're a strong guy, which was actually a counter suggestion for this. Because you're glued to the chair, but you're also giving the guy a suggestion that he's a strong guy. And especially in a man, that can develop like these kind of feelings that of contrarian. So okay, I'm glued to the chair, but I'm also strong, so I am more strong than that, no? And he was actually able to pull himself from the chair because he got this counter suggestion from the hypnotist. It was an easy mistake to make. It was a candid mistake, but it actually counted as a counter suggestion for the purpose that he wanted to achieve.
Okay. But that's actually a suggestion that I would combine together. Like I would still say like, you know you are really strong, but you will notice in a moment that the harder you want to try...
But he didn't do that.
Yeah, exactly. So you normally kind of say the thing that put them back to the normal life, but then you will give the suggestion again saying actually the harder you try, the more stick to the chair you are.
I think in that specific moment, his mind, he had too much time to elaborate on it, and I could even feel it. You could literally see it, what he was thinking when he was trying to push himself off the chair, no? His expression was like he was at the gym, no? So, I can do this, no? So he convinced himself so strongly in that moment that overcame the suggestion that you're glued to the chair.
Yeah, okay.
You could see it plain as day, what he was thinking. It was funny.
Up on that spot on your forehead, your head, and take a nice deep relaxing breath in, breathing in relaxation, and sleep back down into hypnosis. Now that's it, deeper and deeper. Deeper you go, the better you feel, the better you feel, the deeper you go.
The better you feel, the deeper you go. I like this. Because we need to skip from there without opening or closing this.
Okay.
Okay, so this one, you're still drinking. Take your time. I'm sorry.